Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with YouAreTheBroker.com, helping you to build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. As always, thank you one and all for your excellent emails. With regards to YouAreTheBroker.com, we had our best year to date last year. Shared a lot of numbers with you guys in previous newsletters and videos, and many people have asked. They wanted more information. So what I want to do is dive onto the computer and literally show you some of our numbers, because numbers tell a story, and I want to literally show you the type of volume and the type of numbers we're doing, not just in total volume, but even with each specific work order. Because one of the most common questions we receive all the time is, do we do Amazon delivery? Do we do last mile delivery? No, we don't even waste our time with it right now, because as you're going to see, our numbers are just much bigger than all those nickels and dimes, trying to get all those nickels and dimes to add up to anything of substantial value doing that last mile Amazon delivery type stuff. So let's dive onto the computer, and I'm going to go ahead and literally walk you through some of our numbers so you can see exactly what we're doing. So let's get started by going to our authorized.net account. Now, realistically, you're not going to log into or have daily interaction with your authorized.net account. You're going to be using FetchMazo. And you'll see when we do log into our FetchMazo account, you'll see why. Because there is so much more information, detailed information regarding each specific work order, that you will definitely see the difference between authorized.net and FetchMazo. However, authorized.net is critical because they are the actual credit card processor. Now, authorized.net is owned by Visa, so it is easily one of the world's largest, most reliable, credible credit card processors. So we were very pleased to be partnering with them when we were starting and creating FetchMazo. We considered different credit card processors, and bar none, authorized.net is far and away the best, most reliable, most secure, great customer service and support. So that's why we went with that. So again, you're not going to, when you start your broker business, then you're using FetchMazo, you're not going to be using authorized.net on a daily basis. But I want to show you this so you clearly understand how everything is interrelated with one another, and you can see some of the purpose and the distinguishing differences between authorized.net and FetchMazo. So let's start. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our reports, and we're going to come down to today's date, and we're going to run reports. So now, once I'm done with this video, I'm going to pass this over to one of my video guys to do some of his editing so he can delete some of this customer information, because we definitely want to remove the payment method, so that just for security purposes, obviously. Now, as we look over here at the transaction IDs, these are numbers created by authorized.net. Again, they really have no purpose or utility for you. I have no idea how they come up with these random numbers. But again, you're not going to be using authorized.net on a daily basis. You can see our invoice numbers. They are obviously our work orders. They run in sequential order. The settlement right here, the transaction status, settled successfully. That means that the transaction work order, the money was processed successfully. And then if you look over here to the right, the settlement date, you can see when the money was actually processed and then when it hit our account. So if you look at the submit date, you could see when the work order was actually created, and you could see really within like 3 or 4 hours, you could see that the money is hitting our account. You'll notice they kind of do it as like a batch, as a grouping. So the more work orders you have, they really do it as a batch. But that's one of the best things about being operating your own broker business, is you get paid first. So if you look at the payment amount, you'll see the payment amount is the work order amount, and over here the settlement amount, they should always correspond, because again, you're the broker. The money flows through you first. You're going to get your money in a short few hours. So the settlement amount should always be the same as the payment amount. So you should always verify that if ever there's an issue or a question. So let's go ahead, dive in, and look at some of these work orders. I want to show you a couple of interesting things. So let's log into FetchMazo. So when we go to FetchMazo, we'll just quickly enter our username and password and click Login. Now let's look at one of the first work orders. This is nothing crazy. At the end of last quarter, Our overall delivery averages was just over $100. Off the top of my head, I think it was like $101.36. But regardless, let's say it was $100, you can see this is well below our $100 average at $72.49. You'll see the customer surcharge. Now, a year or two back, we added a second customer surcharge. Now, our customer surcharges, we do not pay commission on. Customer surcharges are so when anyone calls and processes a work order over the phone with our dispatcher, we charge a customer surcharge, and we do not pay commission on that. So I know that this was at what we'll easily refer to as a lower end store. So we get lower price points out of these stores. So rather than charging a $10 or a $15 customer surcharge, we just charge $5 because, again, we know it's coming from a lower end store. They have 3 items. We don't charge anything additional up to 3 items. If it was beyond 3, then we would start charging some additional dollars. And again, this is only 4.5 miles down the road. So this is just going to be a quick drop off. And for that quick drop off, realistically, our contractor is going to make $47 and some change. So again, this is going to be pretty quick. Standard, simple work order, nothing crazy. This customer made the transaction today. They're actually going to have their delivery 2 days from now. So let's look at delivery that's just a little bit bigger. Okay, in this work order, you could see, now this is coming out of a higher end store. A couple things we noticed right away. So you'll notice, again, this is a higher end store, so our dispatchers know the minute that they give the address or the name of the store, they know they're going to charge a higher price point for customer surcharge. So this is $10. We do not pay commission on the $10. Also, the insurance amount of $19.95. This is the hassle-free insurance that we talked about in other videos. This is another strategy we deploy. We do not pay commission on that. So realistically, out of this $230 and change, we already know we have almost $20 plus 10. So realistically, this work order itself is closer to $200 because I am not going to pay commission on this $30. So this $146 is commission from the $200. So clearly understand that these are creative strategies you could deploy in your broker business that you really can't deploy in other businesses. Here's a classic example. Again, she made the work order for today, and she's having it delivered on the 4th, so about 3 days from now. 4 items. So we actually, I'm sure we charge her a little bit more for the additional item, and she's going a little bit further, just over 16 miles. So you could see already with Fetch Mazo, we have different rates already input into our system so that we know that when we identify a key store, if it's a higher end store, we know the rate structure is different. We charge more for mileage, we charge more for pickup. It's a higher end store. The items are of much greater value. So realistically, it behooves you to want to charge more. So we charge more for the customer surcharge. Typically coming out of a higher end store, the customers are much more likely to be willing to invest the $19.95 for a hassle-free insurance. And again, we charge more for additional mileage as well as the additional items. And obviously the commission is greater. So they're going to go 16 miles down the road from this store, and overall our contractor is going to make close to $150. So for many people asking, how is it that our contractors make so much money? It's, well, we pay good commission. And then also, one thing that when I share our 1099 year-end numbers, that doesn't include all the cash tips that our contractors get. Our contractors, I mean, they make some really good money with their cash. But let's go ahead and look at 2 more work orders that are very, very interesting. Now, this work order, when we saw this in authorized.net, initially my thoughts were this is an express move because, again, if our deliveries are averaging just over $100, our express moves are actually averaging more like $325, $330. Look at this work order. This is actually a delivery. This is very interesting. This is a delivery. Whereas initially when I saw those numbers for 436, I instinctively would have thought that it would be an express move, but no, it's actually a delivery. And we know this, it's coming out of a higher end store because we're charging a $10 customer surcharge. Now this person, ironically enough, did not elect to take the hassle-free insurance up to $1,000 for $19.95. Not a problem. But it is what it is at the end of the day. We're going to pay commission on the 436 minus the $10. So really out of 426, we pay the commission. So this contractor is going to make almost $300 on this. Now, but look at the mileage. This is why the delivery is so big. So a lot of times when people are considering this broker business, they're thinking this is just quick. That's why people often ask, "Are we doing Amazon last mile delivery?" Clearly, we're not doing last mile delivery. I mean, this guy's going to be going well over 2 hours away. So that's 134 miles. So we're going to charge loaded miles as well as some deadhead mileage. And again, those numbers, those rates are automatically going to be applied to this work order because they're already stored and saved into our rate management system within Fetch Mazos. So within Fetch Mazos rate management, we can create different profiles. So we know if they're coming out of key stores, higher end stores, there's different mileage rates, pickup rates. If there's additional flights of stairs, different additional number of items. Likewise, same thing applies. If it's coming out of a lower end store, the mileage structure, the pickup, it's going to be completely different. So this is going to be a nice little chunk of change for this contractor. Going to make about $300. Probably going to take him about 2.5 hours. But again, this is a clear indication of how our contractors are able to really accumulate some good money. So this is just coincidence enough. The last work order I just showed you was for 436. This one is for 439. Again, complete coincidence. When I look at those two numbers, 436 and 439, I instantly would be thinking that it's an express move, but no, it's actually another delivery. So here's another, let's look down here at miles. This is another classic example. This delivery is going to be 131 plus miles. Let's see, ordered today. It's going to be delivered tomorrow. They have additional number of items. Again, anything over 3 pieces, we charge additional for, plus the flight of stairs. We charge additional for that. Here's an example where they have the $10 customer surcharge because we know it was coming out of a higher end store. And then this customer actually elected to invest the $19.95 or $20 for up to $1,000 of hassle-free insurance. So that I know that that's $30 right there that I'm not going to pay commission on. So realistically, deduct $30 from here, I'm only willing to pay commission on $409 and change. So that's why this contractor is going to be making about $300 on this work order. So again, if they're going to make $300 from me plus anything they get in cash tips, this is why, number one, my contractors make great money from me, but then also why they are so happy to be with us, and they literally help promote our business, because in addition to $300 for this work order, you know they're going to get a nice cash tip on it, and those cash dollars, man, they add up. I mean, some of my guys tell me that they literally average between 20 and 30% for each work order they do just in cash tips. So they do really, really well. Now, let's go ahead and break this down. I just showed you 4 work orders, just 4 work orders. Now, again, I understand the 436 and the 439. Trust me, it's an anomaly because that's not going to be your average delivery work order. 72 and 230. I mean, yeah, again, right now at the end of last quarter, our deliveries were averaging just over $101, I believe it was. So realistically, this is how you really start to average the $100 plus for a delivery. You know, when you're below, you're at $72, you peak a couple times at 230. The 436 and the 439, it's an anomaly. You're not going to have those every single day. Again, we operate in 5 states. We're doing 100 plus work orders a day. I mean, we're doing well. So obviously, it's not uncommon for us to have these type of numbers. But hey, when they populate, it's awesome. These are money makers. But I want to just take a quick example. Let's play with these numbers a little bit. So in being accurate, you could see that just off these 4 deliveries. Now, realistically, just right now, up to date, we're at about 60 work orders just for today. I'm sure we're going to finish with much more by the end of the day. But let's just pick on these 4 numbers right now. I mean, this is almost $1,200, so it's $1,178. If you average the numbers that we paid out in commission and our earned revenue, this is good because realistically, I know that some of our drivers, some of our contractors are new who are going to be doing these deliveries. And the reason I know that is because I will typically start my guys around 65% commission and work them up. Some guys are at 70%, some guys are at 73%. Some of the guys have been with me for a long time, they're at 75%. So I know that some of these are from contractors who are new with us just by looking at the numbers, because I could see we're below 70%. So I know that some of these are by some of our guys making 65%. That's great. So of the 1178, I know I'm going to pay $791 in commission to the contractors, and I'm going to make $387 on just 4 deliveries. So when people think that my numbers are unrealistic, or it blows their mind how we're able to make as much money as we do, again, this is why I love numbers. Numbers always tell a story, and the story never lies. As long as your numbers are legit and they're accurate, you can really start to make great projections, which is what I want to do here. So I want to be even more conservative. Let's play with these numbers. And this is why, again, when I tell people, there is no reason you shouldn't be able to consistently make 6 figures every single year. And realistically, I'll even take it one step further. I am absolutely amazed at how people are not able to not just become millionaires, but multi-millionaires. And again, I'm going to show you why. Let's play with some of these numbers. Let's be very conservative. Let's be very, very conservative. Let's be conservative, and let's say you just average $1,100 each day. $1,100 a day. And let's say, let's further, just to be even more conservative, let's bump it up and say, okay, we were averaging 70%. We average paying 70% on $1,100 a day. That means you're going to pay out $770 in commission, which means you're going to keep $330. That's not a lot of money. I mean, it's great, but it's not a lot. This is not difficult to do. I mean, I'm just showing you 4 work orders. Let's say to get 1,100, let's say you needed 10 work orders. 10 work orders in a day, that is not hard to do. Trust me. So let's further play with these numbers. Let's be very conservative. Again, my broker business, and I tell everybody, it's 7-day a week. If the stores are open, if people are doing business, then we're open. So realistically, the only days that we really are definitely not open is Christmas and Thanksgiving. So, but again, let's just for demonstration purposes, let's be even more conservative and more crazy. And let's say that you're only going to be in operation 6 out of 7 days. So if you can average $1,100 a day and you're only doing it 6 days a week, not even 7, because I'm trying to put these numbers together with one hand tied behind my back to make it painfully realistic and palatable for everybody watching this, so you can clearly see the type of money you can make and how quickly this business can grow and compound. If you could do $1,100 a day, only 6 days a week, that's $6,600 a week. That means you're going to be paying out $4,600 plus in commission. You're going to keep close to $2,000. Again, is that going to set the world on fire? No, but again, let's go back to the volume that we're using to get these numbers. We're not dealing with a great deal of volume. Again, if you can't be pulling in 10 work orders, 8 work orders a day, then realistically, chances are good you should just go and continue to work for somebody else, because it is just not hard. And if you can't pull that off, then I gotta be honest with you. I know it sounds harsh, but I gotta question your level of skill when it comes to being an entrepreneur. But again, let's play this out. If we got 6 days a week that you're operational, not 7, just 6, and you're still averaging $1,100 a day, 66 a week, you're at $2,600 for a month in revenue. You're paying out, let's say, $18,500 in commission. You're making almost $8,000 a month. And again, is this setting the world on fire? Is that going to make you rich? Not anytime soon, but man, that is a great position to be in, especially right now. If you're working for somebody else, you're doing 9 to 5. If you have a different business, whatever it might be, making widgets, selling widgets, and it's not doing that great. Here's a business right here, a business model where all my contractors are 1099 contractors. I don't pay for their trucks. I don't pay for any of their vehicles, any type of insurance or wear and tear or gas. I pay for none of that. So yeah, is $8,000 a month, is that going to make you rich? No, but man, I know that's going to change the lives for a number of people. But all right, let's play this out further. Again, we're 6 days a week. In a year, you're going to be at 343,000 plus in revenue. You're going to be paying out 240,000 plus in commission. Right here, you're already at $103,000 a year. And again, you got 1099 contractors. You're not carrying the overhead expenses associated with vehicles and maintenance and fuel and insurance and liability. None of that stuff. Is $103,000 a year going to make you rich? No, but again, run these numbers. Run any numbers in any scenario you want. I'm showing you 4 work orders, and I've openly admitted, and I absolutely agree, the 436 and the 439, those are an anomaly. You're not going to see those every single day where a delivery is going to be that much, where you're taking something 2 hours down the road. I agree. That's not always going to be the norm. It's going to be infrequent, but guess what? It happens, and I show it to you. Not only does it happen, I got 2 work orders back to back that are almost identical, 436 and 439. So it is painfully realistic. Now, let's couple that with further market penetration, enhanced services, increased volume. You're doing not just deliveries, you're doing express moves, you're doing other types of services that we talk about in our training manual, and then project the overall increase in volume, and the numbers, the volume exponentially increase so fast. This is why over all these years we've been able to experience the compounding success that we have. So again, this is why when people ask me, why do I love numbers? Because numbers never lie. Numbers always tell a story. And as long as you are not bogus and you're telling nonsense and your numbers are absolutely accurate and transparent, your numbers tell a phenomenal story. So get involved. This is an easy business that I know for some of you, you're thinking, man, this sounds too good to be true. Listen, again, I started my business in very, very, very late 2011. 2012 was our first calendar year. And for those first couple of years, we did all the trial, all the experiments, see what works, what doesn't work. We owned the trucks. By 2013, we were completely headed towards 1099 contractor based business model, and we've never looked back. So everything you're going to learn in our training system is for you to put yourself in a position where you outsource everything. And again, I understand this is not a asset-rich business in terms of you're not going to have a ton of employees, you're not going to have all the vehicles, you're not going to be able to go to happy hour and brag to the guy at the bar that you employ 100 people, that you have a fleet of 25 vehicles. I know it's not sexy. I know you can't brag about that. But guess what? Who cares about that when your bank account just continues to get fatter and fatter and fatter? So check us out. If you're serious about this opportunity, you're serious about moving forward, you can appreciate numbers, you see the way this continues to build and compound. You want a business that isn't asset rich, rather you want a business that's cash rich and asset poor, because there's no question this is a cash rich, asset poor business. If you're serious, check us out at youarethebroker.com. Share your information, and we'll be in contact with you.